Now, once again, I think that I'm really looking forward to this match because, as you said before, they're playing two different versions of Tri-Brigade decks, which is very interesting because on one hand, I think that playing with 3 rescue cats was something that we haven't seen maybe in a long time. Like, we were talking about X-Saber, I think, 2010, and on the other hand, we have seen a lot of players relying still on a small Zodiac package on their own, just because they want to special summon the Zeus, which is a very good card.
It's definitely a different solution. As you mentioned, Rescue Cat being very popular back when Victor won the European Championship, but ever since really didn't pay off. And I'm interested in this version from Pierluigi, because as mentioned, many of the famous European players are using it, and not only as you mentioned, it gives you access to Zeus, which is huge. Chaka 9 is a great tool when going first, because it allows you to just link someone into Tri-Brigades. And Tanky is the, let's say, link that allows you to just play both engines together. So I really like the idea. And now, as mentioned, usual stuff. So the Fractal gets there, you can send the kit and the Nerval. So...
And especially the play testing a lot with the Tri-Brigade decks gives you the idea of what you can and what you cannot do. And I think in the mirror match especially, maybe having Zeus in your extra deck can make the difference. So
yeah, definitely interesting, and as mentioned, solid stuff. He gets the Keras, and let's see if he will have one of the Zodiacs. Doesn't seem so he just gets another kit. Punishing 2. Does he has a response? No. And again, here you gotta think. What I like about this deck is that it doesn't really matter who you're playing against. The opening is somewhat similar, and these will actually be the case. And the Keras gets special summoned, so quite a strong opening from Pierluigi, who will try his best to play around Nibiru, but if that would have been the case, it could hurt so much here.
Yeah, here in this spot, it would hurt a lot, yeah.
So he gets the Ancient Warrior Link on the field, and he maybe goes for the Appaloosa here. Let's see if that's the case. Yeah, so great start once again, and shown of how well he knows the deck. Incredible opening with the Appaloosa for free, and the Revolt, plus the Ancient Warrior Link, which you haven't really seen yet. So, yeah, what I really like about this start is that not only does he have the Appaloosa for 3, but the Ancient Warrior Oath is there. So, just in case... Yet another interruption, wow, and even a second back row, which is quite important because they are both maining copies of Solemn Strike. So, interesting things. Amazing opening, and I'm not even sure if Max wants to try and break this board. It's tough.
Yeah, because right now maybe you can just want to try it out and see if we can do something. Okay.
Pot is definitely a great way to start. He really needs more cards, and as you can see here on the start, Ancient Warrior's Oath is just another addition and one more interruption, because it allows you to just spin back a card back to the end of your opponent by discarding one. So great additional tool.
Yeah, I think now Max just wants to give it a try. It's not going to be easy. Okay.
So start things off by Fractal. So already revealing to his opponent what deck he's playing. Would you ever negate here with Appaloosa? What do you think?
Yeah,
he does. Yeah. So Appaloosa goes down to 2 and negates the Fractal.
Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, the more he activates, the more you negate.
And now we see the Keras discarding the Nerval, so great start here. If he does negate the Keras, it would stick in hand. So it isn't the greatest way to use it, and that's why Pierluigi just decides to let it go through. But now he might negate the Nerval. This is more of an interesting choice.
Yeah, because if he does have a Solemn Strike in his back row, he could use it later on for a Max Link summon.
But instead, he doesn't. Maybe he's afraid that the Keras will then attack over the Appaloosa. And instead, he will just play it safer here. So Max still has access to his normal summon. But a lot of interruptions still available to Pierluigi, who has the Revolt, maybe another trap, the Ancient Warrior. So he will use the Ancient Warrior.
Okay.
And actually bring back the Keras back to end.
This is interesting because now he has 2 more negates, and maybe if he has the Solemn Strike as well. Then
and he has the Revolt,
yeah.
so now the normal summon of a Fractal. Interesting. He could already use the Revolt if he feels like it. And it might be the case. I don't mind it, because then you can negate any extender. Yeah, he does. So, great stuff by Pierluigi. This, along with Appaloosa, is a great way to stop your opponent, because Appaloosa can negate the Bell and any form of interruption. So, yeah, this is just the best opening that the deck has. Again, the Omen is the field, he will banish the Fractal and gets even more advantage.
Yeah, because now Appaloosa for 2 hurts a lot, and
yeah, because I mean, he already used the Keras, which is the main extender of the deck, and he used the normal, so I don't see this going Max way, but let's see if he can surprise us with any special way.
Yeah, I think it was well played by Pierluigi, because he knew that,
Yeah.
well played by him.
Just sets 1, most likely another Revolt, but this is looking like it's going to be Pierluigi game. He really needs to find a way to close it, but I wouldn't be worrying when you have an Appaloosa, so this is just the strength of this deck. He top decks even the Keras, so he can discard the kit, get the Keras down, and then trigger it to get even more cards. And tough times. Max picks up his card. He has seen enough. Very, very great opening by Pierluigi. Played it to perfection. And here is where you can see maybe the difference between the last match with Jake, where he opened really strong, but he kind of didn't know what the perfect opening was, and it probably is what we just saw with Pierluigi. So, congratulations to him. Game 1 goes to Pierluigi, and now we take a look at the side decks, but the pressure is on Max.
Yeah. The pressure is on Max, because now in the mirror match it's not easy, because on one hand, I think he's playing one of the most interesting card that we haven't seen so far that many players play, which is Contact C, a card that I think is one of the best solution in your side.
rarities return in Yu-Gi-Oh! Ghosts from the Past, featuring glorious ghost rares, 9 themes from the past, and 2 new strategies. Yu-Gi-Oh! Ghosts from the Past. 15 cards per box, each box sold separately.
Welcome back to the coverage of the Remote Duel Invitational. We are here once again to show you guys an incredible weekend of Yu-Gi-Oh! But we have in the meantime some time to kill off. And what's the best way to do it is not to analyze what just happened and the recent news in Yu-Gi-Oh! So on July the 1st, we saw the latest Forbidden Unlimited list drop out, and it took everyone by surprise. It was one of the most impactful ones, because it brought back a lot of cards from the Forbidden list, and it also had a lot of significant changes across the top decks. We already had a glimpse of the impact at the YCS last weekend, but we want to further analyze the biggest changes one by one since our players this weekend and even in the new weekends are gonna have to deal with it and find new solutions. So Alberto, why don't you talk to us about the first big change?
So I think we should start with the Forbidden of the Guard Dragon LP. I think this card has had a huge impact over the last 2 years, I would say, because Guard Dragon Link was played from YCS Utrecht 2020, and we remember that Matteo Bertolesi lost in the final. And this card was incredibly used by all of the players during the last 2 years, and but nevertheless, the Guard Dragon Link is still there because we have seen that.
And we are back. Unfortunately, someone played a lightning storm against our house, and there was a black house in the entire building. Luckily, it lasted only a few seconds, and we were at the beginning of the match, so we can instantly resume it for you guys. And it was, the desired start of game 2 from Max, which is the best way to do it. Okay. So this is more of a slower start we see, which is the Almirage, normal summon. Again, you get to add the Keras, and it's the slower start, but it can still get you there, especially after siding with so many tech cards in the deck. So,
and as we tried to say before, talking about the side decks, maybe we will see... Okay, now comes the Veiler. We're talking about the Contact C being played by Max, and I think this is a very good card that we haven't seen so often by most of the players.
Yeah, wow, but 3 sack cards from Max. So, definitely hoping that his opponent doesn't have the same Lightning Storm they just used against us. Let's see.
Yeah, anyways, I think that with Max has a decent opening, especially because he's playing multiple copies of Solemn Strikes, and maybe has Imperial Order, we'll see.
Yeah, he's playing Impermanence. He has a lot of traps, so Pierluigi will try his best to came back, and he starts with a Fractal, which gets met by an Ash. So
okay,
this is just turned into a grind game, and we'll see, because maybe Pierluigi can have the best if he can play around the trap cards. Revolt is one to be afraid of, but if there is no Revolt, maybe he can out-resource his opponent.
Yeah, I think here he just wants to push a little bit, especially because it doesn't seem he has that much going on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe here Max is considering if he has like a Revolt or something. Maybe just wants to enter battle phase, Pierluigi, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he enters battle phase and crushes both monsters. And he sets to spell and trap cards on his own. Okay, now back to Max. Let's see if he has some more solutions. Okay, it has become a grind game.
Yeah, as mentioned, this is now a grind game, and if there is a revolt set, it could be big, and it is. So let's see if Max has any response. Definitely not the usual Tri-Brigade game you will see, and I really would like to see a Zodiac from Pierluigi, because it could actually be quite good in such a type of game. Okay, so the revolt resolves, and now he gets to pick up a card for turn.
So what do you expect from Max back rows? Because I think he has
Buff,
maybe
impermanence, yeah, most likely. Strike again could be there. Maybe this judgment, but
maybe the judgment, yeah.
It's tough to predict. Maybe the judgment would have been used here, so it's not the most obvious game, but I'm sure Pierluigi will try his best, just like he did in game 1, to completely destroy his opponent's resources. And it starts things off with the first Zodiac of the game, so Ferroblade hits the field, and although Trident unfortunately is no longer with us, as it was forbidden in the last list, it can turn, just like we see here, into the Barbo, which means that Zeus might come down soon enough.
And here we may see the first difference between these two players playing a pure version and a Zodiac variant.
Yeah. So here we see, as mentioned, the attack coming down and really shaking his opponent. And let's see if the Zeus just comes down here.
Yeah, maybe we will see the first Zeus of the weekend so far. Okay, Chaka 9.
Yeah, Chaka 9, and finally this Zeus, which has double material under it. Is there a Solemn Strike? There is. So, luckily for Max, he's still in this game. Solemn Strike stopped the Zeus completely. And, yeah, that would have been devastating. He would have been left top decking. But now there is still some hope.
And I think Max really needs a monster or a tanky. Maybe the last set could be a revolt. Could be. Because on the other hand, Pierluigi still has Bear Brahman a set on his own. So let's see if he has some more solutions for this turn.
Yeah, again here, as you can see, Zeus, outside of the Solemn Strike, there was not much that could have dealt with it. And even just the body itself being a 3000 is tough to deal. Wow. And another revolt set from Pierluigi.
It is huge.
Yeah, when your opponent just draws all these traps and you have access to your monsters, usually these are the games where you just grind them through sheer damage. And here you can see, just summoning back so many monsters into the Omen.
Yeah, this is huge. It could also change the game entirely, because here comes the Omen. Does he have another Solemn Strike?
Wow, another Solemn Strike. Wow, what a game. And what an opening from Max. Unfortunately, he didn't have one of these... like, imagine even a Rescue Cat, how much damage he could have done with all these traps to back it up. So, Pi is back to Max, who is top decking and looking for the Rescue Cat. He gets it. I actually, yeah, named it for him, and that was the best draw, probably, but he's thinking about it. Did he banish all of them? No way. That would have been so bad for him. That's so unlikely to happen, but maybe that is the case. Oh my, I think it is. It is, wow. This is actually heartbreaking from Max. The Rescue Cat thinks it's the best top deck, but it's actually the worst. Because he banished all of the remaining targets with Pot of Desires. What a way to actually end the game it could be. And now Pierluigi, from being devastated just 1 second ago, can definitely have a breath of relief, and he will top decks the Twister. Wow, with the kit. What a top draw. And yeah, he destroys the impermanent set from Max. He activates the kit, and this is just easy game from Pierluigi. But what a turnaround. In just a matter of seconds, we thought that Max had the game and we would see a game 3. Instead, Pot of Desire, disaster, and now Pierluigi has enough. He just swings for game and he takes it immediately with quite a fast game. He is the winner. Congratulations, Pierluigi. Let's go back to us for the post-match discussion.